Hello again, I am Blunty, and this is my somewhat belated review of Fable 3. Is it worth buying? Is it worth playing? The short form answer to both those questions is yes! The long form answer to why this review is delayed is because I had an apocalyptic failure of my video capture software, which is why the footage you're seeing rolling behind me of Fable 3 looks like crap, because I had to point a camera at the TV to actually get this footage, and that's the worst way to get some game footage for a review. Secondly, I've been apocalyptically busy. Quite frankly, I'm going out of my mind a little bit because I'm starting to stress. I've got too much on. I've got my to-do list is growing too long and I'm going out of my brain. But let's be honest, you don't give a crap about that. Let's get on with the review of Fable 3. Now, it's an RPG. It's got all the RPG things you should expect. You got an adventure main storyline, you got a whole bunch of side quests, including fetch quests and adventures, and the whole game revolves around you playing the prodigy, the son or daughter of the hero from the second Fable. You're born in a castle, you have to go out and save the kingdom from the crap that's going on. I won't spoil the story in any way for you, as much as possible while being able to do a review, but basically it's a standard RPG kind of thing. You're the single hero, you are the last great chance, you are the only thing that can save the game world from disaster and horrible things, and you have to do that by winning favour with different cities and towns and groups of people, and you do that by doing them favours. Basically, it's Fable 2 streamlined. So if you really loved Fable 2, and if you haven't played Fable 2, why not? I bloody told you when it came out, when I did my review of it, go play the game, it's amazing, it's one of the best RPGs I've ever played, it's so enjoyable, and the thing about the Fable series, particularly in Fable 3, it's taken it to even bigger levels, is it strips down the stuff that's annoying about RPGs, the stuff that slows down the gameplay experience, the deep menu system where you have to dig through and manage your inventory and buggerize around like that. And some people love that. I mean, some people are really sort of OCD and nerdish and just sort of love digging into the menu after menu after menu, organizing their inventory and finding out what they found. I don't. I want to play the game. I want to get sucked into the story. I don't want to spend minutes on end fiddling with an inventory screen to equip my weapons with certain gems that make it do explosive things. I just want to play the game, and Fable 3 makes that as simple as possible. It is so it's too streamlined in some instances. Like, things I miss that Fable 2 had that Fable 3 doesn't have is the advanced targeting mode on your gun weapon, for example. In Fable 2, you could choose whether to sort of aim in, you could give them a headshot or a body shot or a crotch shot, and I racked up a huge number of crotch shots. And there was an achievement for that, if I remember correctly. But yeah, I got a whole bunch of crotch shots, and I really love doing that because it made me laugh. In Fable 3, you don't do that. You just aim the gun, and bang, it goes off. You don't get to choose where you shoot them. It's a little thing, but it's something I miss from Fable 2 that Fable 3 doesn't have, and that's part of the sort of streamlining of Fable 3. What Fable 3 does better than Fable 2 is the writing is a lot better. It's a very funny game. It's a very funnily written game. The dialogue is less repetitive. In Fable 2, you get the different villages with the same voices saying the same thing in different towns, and it was a bit repetitive and monotonous, and it pulled you out of that getting sucked into the world kind of experience. In Fable 3, much less repetitive in the dialogue, and all of it's more funny. But what about the mechanics of the game? Where does it fall down? Well, the camera, better than Fable 2 a little bit. It still gets hung up sometimes. It's never made me have to reset the game. It's never been stuck so bad you have to hang up the game, but it does some weird things sometimes where it zooms in way too close to an action, or it gets partially blocked by a semi-transparent building or something like that. Nothing that's breaking the game, but it does go, oh, the camera's doing a weird thing, and it pulls you out of that game experience. Not the greatest. You still got that thing where there are some invisible walls, as you do in any sort of wide open spaces. You go, well, why can't I walk up that bit? It's not as bad as Fable 2, where a small rock in the road you can't jump over, but suddenly there's something you just can't get by, and you're going, standing in one spot and wandering around, you're going, why can't I go in that direction? Obviously the map ends there. They've got, you know, they haven't made that part of the game over that little rise over there, but there isn't a fence there to make it obvious that you can't get over there. And sometimes you can leap over fences, sometimes you can't, and it's all a bit wacky. The other thing that's kind of frustrating sometimes is there's a new feature in Fable 3 where you can actually grab someone by the hand and you can lead them to places. You press the left trigger button or whatever and you grab their hand and you can drag them around or lead them places and stuff like that. And sometimes you have to do that for there's several different reasons you have to do that in the game. But one of the reasons is when you're leading leading someone somewhere. And I'm trying not to spoil the story here, but for some reason, sometimes you can walk at regular pace when you've got someone by the hand, and someone else who is, for all intents and purposes, the same size and weight in the character, it forces you to go at a walking pace, and a slow walking pace. which is really, really frustrating because there's nothing to do but walk. So you're just pressing forward on the walk button, holding the hand, and you go plod, 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 and it's really frustrating. Where at other times, similar characters holding their hands for similar reasons, you can run with them. And I don't know why that is. It's frustrating. I hate being forced to walk when I know I can run. If you follow me on Twitter, you will have known when I started playing this game, when I got my review card and I stuck it in, I was under embargo, so I couldn't tell anybody what I thought about the game, but I was sending out hints in my Twitter stream, that being that I was missing meals and entire days were slipping away, and that's part of why I'm apocalyptically busy at the moment, because I fell behind on my to-do list because I got so horribly sucked into Fable 3. Days disappear. I missed meals. I was, I put down the controller and went up to the toilet and went, oh, I'm dizzy because I'd forgotten to eat, and my blood sugar had plummeted to the ground, and it's ridiculous. Look, and I know this review has been all over the place. That's because I didn't write a proper review. I'm doing all this off the top of my head, sort of giving you a general impression, because I don't know, I'm horrible at my job or something. I screwed up the video capture. I screwed up writing it. I screwed up having enough time. I screwed up getting it out on time. But the fact is, if you played Fable 2 and you loved it as much as I did, chances are you're playing Fable 3 right now and you're loving the bits out of it. If you're a bit of on the fence, you don't have to have played Fable 2 to get the most out of this. There are references to the story and some of the things that happen in Fable 2, but nothing that will leave you going, what are they talking about? They make it pretty clear that they're going, well, the old king, which is the old adventure you played in Fable 2 or whatever, they make it very clear, and you're not going to miss out on anything if you didn't play Fable 2 and you want to play this. But if you did play Fable 2 and you play this, there's little references that you just really enjoy. You go, oh, yeah, yeah. But the writing is fantastic. Like I said before, it's very, very funny places. It's very sort of self-aware, tongue-in-cheek, kind of self-referential, almost making fun of role-playing games. And there's a side quest in the game called The Game, which is based on a tabletop role-play gaming game. And you get these three wizards, which are essentially dorks. And if you're the kind of person who doesn't normally do all the side quests in the game, do it. There's a quest called The Game, find it and do it, because it is really, really funny. It's one of those rare occasions in a game where I was laughing out loud, because it's just clever writing, funny writing, and that sums up the whole Fable 3. It's an enjoyable game, and you will forget to eat meals because of it. It's just one of those games that really sucks you in. Go out, buy Fable 3. It's a must-buy. If you have a 360, this is one of those must-have games, because it is just an example of game design done really, really well. Thanks for watching. I'm Blunty, and I'll catch you next time. I've got so much work to do.